Thursday live office hours, and like the false advertising that I've been doing over the last 3 weeks, I'm here 10 minutes early. Okay, because I see you guys are lining up in the chat like 2.5 hours ago. I just got out of the shower 3 minutes ago. So I'm happy to be here. I'm ready to go. I wore orange today to brighten your day. So let's get right into it. I just don't see any reason that we need to wait to answer these good people's questions. Get in the chat, say hi, let me know where you're from, let me know what you need, let me know what you do, let me know where you're from, let me know what you need, and I will do my best. Put some question marks in front of your questions. Let's roll. Let's roll. It looks like I think I'm alive and well here. We got a handful of people, but let's just get going. I see Susan Kelly. How are you? What are the other early birds? Adam Stark is always here. That's a code name. He's really got a different name. And John Bailey, yes, you are an I-teamer. And if you are on my I-teamer, meaning you've got the interview intervention book, you got the interview intervention course, let me know. If you are a boot camper, let me know. And if you are in my leadership program, man, have I got something for you tomorrow. So give me a shout out. Where are your hashtags? Let me turn the volume off on my stuff so that when we hear the slacks, we don't actually hear the slacks. I see the slacks. All right, let's see. Pipping, zipping from Texas. Hope you're safe. And Adam Stark, do you have any advice to help counter and overcome writer's block and lack of creativity? A lot of time I struggle with where to begin. I'm not sure what it is that you are writing, but let me tell you this. There are a couple things that create writer's block, and I'm going to give you 2 ways to completely eradicate that. And this is coming from somebody, and I don't want you to take this the wrong way. I have never had writer's block a day in my life, and the only reason that is true is because I am comfortable with writing crap. Okay, so what do I mean by that? The reason we get stuck is because we're afraid to produce something that isn't amazing. When I want you to be impatient with your actions and patient with your results. So get there, get in front of the computer, get in front of the notepad or whatever. And the other way, so you got to get comfortable, just produce. You got to be comfortable with just produce. You can't edit a blank page, we say in my shtick. Authors say that. But the other thing is, the other reason why I'm able to write is because the day before the session, the hour before the session, or the whenever before the session, I'm focused on the start, not the production. Meaning, I know that when I get up at 4:30 and at 4:35, I need to be at my desk writing the hiring prophecies. I know exactly what I'm going to write. Meaning, I know that I'm going to be writing chapter X because it's in the outline where I need to talk about why employers are so bad at hiring, kind of thing. Okay, so I go in knowing the topic matter. Then it's about generation. And so I sit down and I just write it. This goes for your resume, goes for a cover letter, it goes for, I don't care what you're writing, a work project, a presentation, a white paper, or whatever. You do not schedule creativity. You schedule writing time. You need to plan what you're going to write, and then you need to sit down and write it. And then just get comfortable with the fact that some days you're going to create Hemingway-like stuff, and other days it's going to look like crap, but you can edit that. So when I wrote the hiring prophecies, I literally, on January 2nd, I got up in the morning, 4:30. I was in a different house. I went from my bedroom to the balcony where I let the dogs out, fed them, got into my desk. The dogs plopped in behind me, and I knew what I was going to write, and I had to produce between 1,000 and 2,000 words a day. Every day. The book was done by Valentine's Day because every single day I didn't care. I was going to produce the words, and I knew I could clean it up. I could clean it up later that day. I can clean it up the next day. I can clean it up on the weekend. But when you start to see the results, that's when all of a sudden the stuff you start to get better, you start to get more creative, you have things to bounce off yourself, right? Like you have stuff that you can look at. So that's it. Get over it. just write to write, but know what you're about to write. And that point I said about focusing on the start, people who finish stuff do not focus on the finish line. They focus on the starting line. Okay, I need to show up to the race trained. I need to show up to the writing session ready, the pad, the paper, the computer, the whatever, the topic. I'm focused on that. I'm not focused on, well, what's it going to look like when I'm done? I might have a vision, but I crank stuff out. I don't worry about that. I can clean it up after I put it down. You got to do that. That is a great question. It's a great lesson for anybody who's stuck. And did I, Stacy, I thought I saw it. Was it a video? Did I, oh God, this is so terrible. I saw, Stacy, can you do me a favor? Can you Slack me this? The struggling to write the resume video, was I looking at that privately, or is that out somewhere in the universe already? I know you could all laugh at me. I'm asking Stacy because we have so much stuff now that I don't know what's been released and what is to be released, and I'm watching my own stuff that I've never seen before, and because Stacy's amazing at organizing all this stuff. So if we have the clip about struggling, wait, hang on, I'm waiting. Yes, I know you can all laugh at me. Hey, I still got like 3 minutes before the official start time, so I'm not all the way here yet. She's typing. Okay, it's not there yet. Anyway, Adam, that's your lesson. Last thing I'll say to all of you on this, Stacy said she'll release it today for you. How about that? She's awesome. It'll go out on Instagram, where if you are not following me on Instagram, please get connected. It is my favorite platform. YouTube is obviously where I release a video a week, and we do a lot of these live shows. But on Instagram, you get 2 videos a day, every day. And then you get my inspirational quotes and all that, which are not on YouTube. So get connected with me on Instagram. And also, if you're not connected with me on LinkedIn, get connected with me there, and Facebook, and anywhere, Twitter, anywhere else you would like to have the conversation. Okay, enough on that. All right, now I think we're approaching the official time. If you're loving the early starts, please click the thumbs up button. I love that question. That was a great one, Adam. Thank you for serving it up. All right, Osama, how can we add certifications to our resume? Some of the certifications are very impacting and are big achievements, but I have observed that they seem to be ordinary in the resume. Can we add certification badges somewhere in the resume? Here's what I would do. Let me put this one up here on the screen. All right, Osama. This is a phenomenal question on certifications. Here's what I would do. If you have a couple of certifications, meaning like I have 1 or I have 2, if you go to the Andy LaCivita School of Resume Writing, there's a career profile. It's a summary. It is you in aggregate in your most awesome, glorious form. It's an accumulation of your work, of your accomplishments, meaning like a one sentence roll up or a 2-sentence roll up. And then in addition to that, you put in what I call your core competencies, which are the business functions that you are skilled at. That those are necessary to highlight so that the employer knows what you know. Do you know budgeting? Do you know forecasting? Osama's talking about certifications. Maybe there are technical technologies he understands, or he understands the software development life cycle, or he understands project planning or work planning or things of that nature. Now, in addition to those core competencies, what I always say is if you have something special. Now, something special could be certifications. It could be an MBA. It could be that you are multilingual, that you know French, English, Spanish, and German, and you speak them all fluently. I call that major, okay? So now let's say he's a technologist, and let's say he's a network engineer. I don't know what you are, Osama, but let's just roll with the spirit of the analogy here. Let's say he's got 6 certifications. I wouldn't necessarily put them all up at the top. I might put the most robust, the ones that are the most powerful. Is he a CCIE certified network engineer, which is like a buku major accomplishment for in the network engineering space for Cisco switches? Okay, stuff like that. And you might put certified CCIE and CCVP or whatever, something like that. And then that's at the top. At the bottom of the resume, you can put if you have a lot of these, a technical skills and certifications section, and you can list out all your programming languages or the hardware and software that you know or whatever it is, and you could put your certifications and list them all if you want, in case an employer is looking for a particular certification. But I always like at the top of the resume to put the most important things. So like if you're a professional, you've been working 20 years, here's another example, and the job description says MBA preferred, right? Usually it's not required, it's preferred. Then you want to make sure that you take MBA, Master's in Business Administration, from whatever school you might want to say at the end of your career profile, MBA from, so-and-so, and that's it. And then it's way up at the top. I don't like putting it next to your name. That mucks with, first off, I hate seeing it as a human, and it mucks with the applicant trashing systems. They don't like hieroglyphics and numerals and all the juniors and seniors and MDs and MSs and all that stuff after your name. It mucks it up in the system. So I put it in the career profile. Trust me, a recruiter who knows what they're looking for will not miss it. The biggest problem that people have with resumes is usually the stuff that needs to be in the resume is not there. The recruiter will find it. Okay, that is a great question. That's how I'd handle certifications. I get that one a lot, so I'm glad you served that one up. All right, for those of you that just joined us, I don't know how many just jumped in. I started at about 10:50 today. Already got through a couple questions. Great to have you. If you are here, get in the chat, say hi. Let me know where you're from. Let me know what you need. Put some question marks in front of your questions. If you're a boot camper, if you're a leader, let me know. Use your hashtags. We always like to give you a shout out. Got a couple of good boot camper stories for you today. That's really about all I have. I've got a couple of announcements. One thing I want to say that I want you guys to know, if you haven't seen it yet, I have a 4-day, all live, all newly done resume writing workshop. It's going to be fantastic. August 4th, the 6th, the 11th, the 13th, all at 11 Central in the U.S. Get signed up, because I'm giving away, as soon as you sign up, no waiting, no fuss, I give you my resume content builder, which is amazing. It's not only the resume template, it's all the instructions to write the resume, all the topics that need to go in each section, sample stuff. It's really nice. It's about a dozen or 13 pages. And if you get that now, there's a journal in the back of it. It'll talk about what pieces of information to actually include in your resume, the details, the data, and that kind of stuff. And it's really good. And then we'll send you messages the morning of the sessions with some additional lessons for that day. It's really going to be a lot of fun. It's free. It's live. It's an entire course. You'll know how to write your resume exactly. The resume will be done at the end of the course if you're putting the time in. So I hope you can join me for that. DA, great to see you. Yes, from Sonoma. I always get envious. Ruth, how are you? Great to see you. Hi, Andy. On all employment applications, there is a form asking if you had or continue to have disability. Would any answer I choose affect my candidacy? I only think... Okay, wait. This is really great. Ruth, let's pop this one up here. On this one, yes, employment applications ask that. There are some that can ask it for a variety of reasons. There are some jobs that require you not to be physically disabled. There's just issues related to your ability to do the job. And it's not like, can you drive the forklift? It could be, can you travel? If there are travel requirements for the job, and you can't move around okay, and you are limited to your home or something like that, there could be factors. Now, I will not say that I know all the legalities, and there are different legalities in different countries. There are different legalities in different states, even in the United States, and all that good stuff. This is my de facto answer for anything like this, Ruth, is I always want you to answer honestly, and if it affects your candidacy, then that place wasn't the place for you. Because there are many different ways to be discriminated against. Now, some things are just ailments that the employer is going to find out if you lie, and it's something that is affecting your ability to perform your job. Then it would be unfortunate for the employer to have hired you. I understand and I empathize with them and with you or anybody who has a disability. I just always say be honest. I really do. And in response to will it affect your candidacy, each employer is going to look at it differently. Then that's all I can say on that. I hope that helps. All right, great question. Chandra, Savannah, how are you? It starts in about an hour. I'm not sure when this was. Yeah, I'm trying to keep you here side by side. DA, let's see. Medina, how are you? I did say that. You should get up here and teach this. Helena, how are you? Okay, Helena's a leader. Can I just say something? And I'll say this probably a couple times. I have a leadership coaching group. We meet monthly. I teach my butt off. These are about 2-hour sessions. And I teach them my best strategies and tactics for advancing your career, all the self-help stuff, living a great life, leading a rewarding life. And tomorrow, I'm talking about how to design the essential life. So in my live coaching tomorrow, I'm talking about how do you look at your entire life. So think about everything that goes into you making it through any given day, right? There's your health, there's your relationships, there's all kinds of good stuff. There's your work, of course. And then as you look at the different things in your life, I use the term things loosely, the people in your life, the commitments you take on, the goals you set for yourself, and stuff, right? Stuff. Clothes, watches, little bracelet thingies, right? How do you evaluate that, balance it, prioritize it, choose it? What's the process that you can go through to invite things into your life that hopefully one day will not make you regret your choices, right? So how all of these things in our lives, right? Spouses, kids, everything, the house, the roof over your head, right? Some of these things can become obligation feeling, like chores. We don't want that to happen. Tomorrow is about my formula for how to lead a wonderful life, enjoy everything in it, and looking at it that way. And how do you pick? And how do you protect yourself? I sent an email out. Actually, I sent an email out yesterday about my 7 most polite ways to say no. Hopefully you got that yesterday in your inbox. That I'm not going to go through all that in the session, but big part of living an essential life is creating space, and a big part of creating space is knowing how to politely say no, and then process whether you should do something, not do something, buy something, not buy it, go to the thing, not go to the thing, take the goal on, and so forth. So Helena, you and me and all the leaders tomorrow, and hopefully anybody else who wants to join, check out that page. It's really a great program. A lot of good bonuses, and it's really inexpensive, and you can cancel anytime. It's a subscription. It's a monthly subscription, or you can get it half off for an annual subscription. Anthony, how you doing? Hashmatullah, how you doing? Anthony got a question. Do I need, or would it be advantageous to have a LinkedIn profile to start applying for jobs, or should I start immediately after my resume is done? Anthony, get that LinkedIn profile up. Most employers look at it. I would use LinkedIn. Now, I beat up on LinkedIn a lot, and I'm never going to stop because they're never going to be a great platform as far as the technology, how they feed you stuff, and even what it's used for. But this is what happens when you are the only game in town. you need to take advantage of what it offers you and use it in the way it was intended to be used for networking purposes. But employers will check your profile to see who you're connected with, and it to be honest with you, it weirds me out a little bit as a recruiter. If I see a resume, I naturally go to look for the person's LinkedIn profile, and if I cannot easily find them, it always worries me a little bit. So my short, well, it was kind of a lengthy answer, but my short answer to you is yes, get it up, put a nice look, you're a good looking guy, put a nice picture up there, straight on face shot. I say this all the time, people, all of you have beautiful faces. You do. The picture doesn't need to be airbrushed and all that stuff. Straight on face, just in the circle, right? It'll look good. It will. Look straight at the camera, smile, and look open and welcoming. Hope that helps. All right. Hey, Andy, Patricia, how are you? What's the deal with 60-plus folks who want to continue in their career? Do hirers look at age first, then decide to toss out our resume if it's exceeding an age limit? Patricia Nickel, I'm going to show you something right now. I'm probably going to show this again, but you know what? Before I show it, let me get this. You know what? Patricia Nickel, this one's for you. Hey folks, I was going to wait till a little later in the session, but let me just show you what's possible. Okay, see in the blue screen. I want to share with you, I'm getting these every single day. This is Sonda, okay? So I want you to look at this. This was literally 2 days ago because I clipped it. Well, sorry, this is 3 days ago, okay? Keep it up. Andy's techniques and instructions work. I am 60 years old, quit my job, took a break. Okay, then COVID came. She was with the same organization 26 years, which I know that people think is a problem. So I'm too old. These are some of the myths that I want you guys to stop listening to. Okay, so now Patricia, this isn't just specific to you. Everybody, these little notes of mine on the sidebar there, I don't want you to listen to anybody who's telling you this and just don't believe it. Yes, there are some companies who will discriminate. Okay, that's not the company for you, but I'm telling you, look at this story that she posted in our feed. She's a boot camper. She's in my job search boot camp, was with the same organization for 26 years. She's basically started her job in earnest, in the last several weeks, and it took time, and she wasn't in a hurry, so she kind of slow rolled it. COVID was, a surprise to her, right? She was traveling. She landed 2 offers. So don't listen to anybody who's telling you that you're too old. Don't listen to anybody who's telling you that no one's hiring in a pandemic. Don't listen to anybody that says you're going to be totally handicapped because you were at the same employer for 20 years or 26 years. And don't believe anybody who's telling you, hey, you'll be lucky to get an offer. I always tell the boot campers, I need you to pay attention as you put your first foot forward that you should expect multiple offers and you need to operate. A lot of us fail at what we do because we don't plan for success. Okay? When people think, well, I failed because I didn't know what I was doing, I didn't work hard enough and this and that. Yes, that happens. But a lot of times people put the effort in, but they fail because they didn't plan to succeed. And you could bungle up the fact that when you get down to the end with a couple or 3 employers and you're juggling offers, that you could muck it up then because you didn't communicate properly throughout the way. I just want you guys to imagine all of that. And Patricia, I'm telling you, I got so many of these in the 50 plus, 60 plus. We had a 69-year-old just email me, just got a new job, was in the boot camp 3 weeks, 69. Okay, so I'm not buying it. I don't want you to buy it. And sure, if you want to assume everybody, and I'm speaking to all of you now. I mean, if you want to assume all those things are going to stand in your way, then they will. Okay, but I just don't want you to believe any of that crap. It's not. It's absolute nonsense. And I don't want you to go there. Not mentally. Don't say that to yourself. Okay. So So there. That's what I think on that. All right. Kimberly Francis. Love this. Thank you. After the job search challenge, I have an interview. On the phone, they said they'd ask me about problem-solving skills, but I'm struggling to think of any stories that show this. Kimberly, I don't know what you do. You're a graduate and have had part-time jobs, but really not sure which experience to use. I wish I could be more help. I don't know what you do, but I will tell you this. Everybody, think about anything you had to solve. Anything you had to solve. It is one of the 5 staple stories. I was thinking about this last night. Not that this is going to help you at the immediate moment, but this is one of the number 5 stories you need to be able to explain in a job interview, because there are so many offshoots and substitutes that you can use this particular story for when an employer asks you about you organizing something, you solving a problem, and so on. Problem-solving skills is one of the things that employers absolutely have to evaluate. And I love this question, meaning I love this as an interview question. You have them. You need to think about them. I don't know what you do, but if you want to let me know, I might be able to think about some of the problems that you'd have to solve. Laura Cobb, hey to you. Bree, how are you? Change is scary. How do you know that it is time to leave a company, and how do you know which company is the right one for you? Oh, Bree. Well, let me tell you this. In interview intervention, and I think it was on page 12. In interview intervention on page 12. I give this book away anywhere in the U.S. I will mail it to you. You get the ebook, the audiobook, and a bunch of other stuff. And on page 12, it says in here, I kid you not, it is probably one of my favorite passages. I'm just going to read it. Okay? Most people never act on new adventures. It's my opinion that they would rather live with unhappiness than uncertainty. Okay? Instead of taking a chance, they hold themselves hostage with decisions they made during their 20s, serving as the shackles. Okay? That's the exact quote in the book. So how do you know? Well, this becomes it's a variable answer because it's a matter of your pain threshold. So I put my happiness is my highest form of evaluation of anything that I do. Will it make me happy? Will it not? How does it make me feel? So I look at, is it what I'm doing? So I'm going to give you a little pecking order here. Is what you're doing bringing you joy? Meaning, if you're a project manager, as an example, and Bree, I don't know what you do, but if you're a project manager, do you like managing projects? Right? Like, think about how basic that question is. This is not a rudimentary lesson. What you do, if that does not bring you joy, okay, then you need to change. Why is that such a big deal to dissociate what you do with whom you do it, right? So if I like project managing, but I don't like these idiots that I'm working with, well, okay, well then don't change companies. Okay? That's one direction. If you don't like managing projects anymore, then you need to change job functions or careers. So that is a very simple and cold-hearted way of looking at it, but it cuts right through the crap. Right? So that's something. Now, you said change is scary. How do I know it's time to leave a company? Now we're starting to get into the detail of, well, I don't like doing it with these people. Okay? The minute you don't like doing it with these people, so the first thing I would say is I would start looking, why not? If you don't like it there, the first thing that I would naturally do is take stock of why. Is it something you can change? If it is, go and try to change it. Right? All that, go through your normal stuff. You know, when a husband and wife have an argument, you don't just go get a divorce, right? Is it something that you can communicate about? Right? That's what I'm talking about here. Now, if you realize that something is unchangeable, okay, so I really don't like my boss. There's no way I'm ever going to like that boss. I can't see getting a new boss or whatever, then you got to go. I don't like traveling anymore. I have a newborn baby. Okay, well, and you got to keep traveling. All right, can you go to a non-travel position? If not, it's time to leave, right? So you go through your questions and you will have criteria that will supersede and help guide you through your choice. This matters more to me than that, right? This, being at home matters more to me than the paycheck. I have to do it this way. All right, now, if you get to a situation where they say, we will change, okay, we will change, they get one shot. Okay, that's how I do it. I have the discussion. We have the discussion. I do not like this. You're treating me like like an imbecile. We got to have this discussion. We're having it out. I'm so sorry, Bree. I won't behave that way anymore, and so on. If the stuff continues, it's just an example. It could be anything, right? But if it continues, that's it. I'm out of here. That's how I decide. Now, whatever it is that's bothering you, that's how I look at it. Now, second part of your question. How do I know which job to choose? Well, the first thing that you don't do is you don't just start looking for a job. Okay, you don't just start looking for a job. You need to do some, engineering, reverse engineering of what makes you happy. What is it about what I do that I do like? What is it about I do that I don't like? What is it about my past jobs that I've loved? What is it that I need in my life? List out all your requirements. I talk about this a lot. I have a video out there on how to choose the right job. It might be how to choose the right job or how to choose the right job for you, where I walk you through how you identify that criteria. That's the first thing that you do before you leave. Then, when you talk about, well, how do I know which company is the right one for you? If you break down your criteria, you use that criteria to evaluate the companies that you go interview with. Now, I like to use that to determine which companies to target, because some of your criteria is going to help guide you. Actually, we just did this session with my boot campers about determining direction of your search and determining your choice of your search. We just did this last week in one of the boot camp booster sessions, private coaching sessions that I have with people in my job search boot camp. And I talk about using your criteria as guideposts, like company type, industry, market. These are things that you could decide from the comfort of your own home or desk, right? That determines where to look. The other stuff, like the type of culture, maybe the specific job requirements, the values and integrity of the people at the place, and other things, are things you won't know until you actually get in and evaluate them, right? You don't know that from a website. You don't know that from a 10K or whatever. So that's how I determine that. I have my list. I determine my route. Then when I start surfacing opportunities, I use my list to evaluate them. I determine what questions I'm going to ask them based on those requirements. And I would recommend you watch that. You watch that video on how to choose the right job, because that will answer the latter question that you have there. So I hope that helps, Bree. Hope you enjoyed my little book reading there from Interview Intervention. And peeps, if you don't have it, grab it. Grab it. I ask that you pitch in $7 for the envelope and the service fees that I incur and the inventory fees that I incur, and I basically pay the shipping to anywhere, whether it's in the U.S. or internationally. So grab this. It's a really great book. I know that because a lot of people read it, tell me about it, have luck as a result of getting it. So grab it. Thanks, Bree. Awesome questions. Really nice. Really nice. Savannah, great to see you. Oh, I love this. Savannah Lawrence, ding ding. Can we all give her a high 10? Because this is a common issue. I don't know that I get this one a lot. And off the top of my head, I don't think that I've answered this one this way, which actually is pretty damn hard to believe, as much as we do this together. All right. If one leaves a good job, it doesn't matter. One leaves a job over external factors, family, personal drama, meaning I'm assuming, right, she said external factors, so this is outside of your work, not personal drama within the corporation or the four walls. Active shooter events, I mean, this is nuts. Okay, I mean, some of these can be really extreme. I just, again, de facto response to most everything that you would ever have to respond to. Why did you leave your current job? Why are you unemployed now? All that, why are you looking? All of that stuff, even if you didn't leave, but you're concerned about these events. Just explain that that I loved. So this is the way you want to package this, okay? There's got to be a couple things that you say, because these things will really, really help the new employer feel good about you, and it will also immediately squash the response, meaning you don't want to keep talking about it. You just want to explain it, and you want it to be done, and then you want to get on to selling yourself. Because remember, when you get a question like this, you got a 90% chance of losing it and only a 10% chance of gaining some points. But do it this way. I would say, you know what? I really enjoyed working at my organization. I really did. I wanted to stay there. But there were some external issues. You can decide what level of detail that you want to get in. There was an active shooting event, and I was feeling as though the environment was unsafe, and I was required to go into the office each day. So I decided, for my own safety and the well-being and caring of my family, that it was just better to move on, right? My life's more important, and I will go and find a great job somewhere else. That's it. Less than 1 minute, 40 seconds, okay? Or you could do something like, I loved my job. You want to start with that. I loved my job. Okay? Everything was good. But my mom got sick. My child got sick. I had some external family-related issues. Now, if you decide to go into that, you also want to diffuse it by saying, and now everything is okay. Okay, now everything is okay. That issue is over. And the reason you want to do that, hopefully it is, but if it is, you must say that, because what's the question shooting through this brain over here? Well, what's the upkeep going to look like? Are you going to continue to have issues? Are you unstable if I hire you that you could leave, meaning for whatever? Okay, so you want to diffuse it. That goes for if you had an ailment. If you want to say, I had to leave my job because I had to go through treatments or whatever, but that is all resolved. Use that if that's the situation. If it's not the situation, then you've got other things. But I think that will give you what you need there. That is a very good question. It is very tricky response, but you will neutralize it or gain a few points if you say, I enjoyed my job. There's no reason not to say that, right? You decided to leave for something else. I loved it there. I loved everything about it. But this issue stood in the way. All right, hope that helps. Laura Cobb, hugs back to you. You are welcome. Passion online app requires salary range. All right, online apps that require salary ranges, yes. You always have to select a salary range. These are like drop downs and so on. Laura, everybody, go check out my video on the best answer to what's your expected salary. Best answer to what are your salary expectations. Now, I want to be really clear about which video I'm talking about here, and Stacy can put it in the chat. I have 2 videos related to how to answer the salary expectations question, okay? One was shot in 2018. It's got like 1.5 million views. It's a very popular video. I got so many comments and questions that many people were missing the spirit of what the intent of the insight was, which was, how do you respond when you are being asked by a person in an interview, okay? Even though I stressed that, everybody, I got probably, 1,000 or 1,500 questions of the same question. What do I put in on the online app? I reshot a new video in 2020 or maybe 2019, but it was released in 2020, where I give you another answer. I give you the answer. I reiterate it. I give you a bailout answer if you are in an interview, and then I tell you exactly how to answer it on the application, which is basically just choose something similar to what you earn. It makes no difference what you choose on that. Don't go super high and don't go super low. Just get in your ballpark, whatever the ranges are, because sometimes it goes, $49,999 to right or 50,000 to 54,999 and 55 thousand to 59,999 or whatever. And a lot of times you're just choosing. That's assuming it's required, and just do that. You can negotiate that stuff at the end. No one pays attention to that number. No recruiter and in the right mind cares what you put on the application. They really do not. I know you all think they do, but they don't. And then when you get in the process, you can negotiate it at the end. If it's an open field, put open or negotiable. Many of them are not. They want you to put something in there. If you could put 0 or 1, if it's like a free form, but you could do that. But I would just choose it. All right, so I hope that helps. Tony P., my boot camper and leader from Dunedin. Love that area. God, Susan Kelly, how are you again? And Ray and Bob, my boot camper, how you doing? Kevin Whitesell, how much time should you spend researching a company? 5 minutes. It's getting to be half the day. I'm not sure what we are doing here, my friend. There's 2 ways you search a company. You glance at the dang thing and say, does that look like someplace I might want to work? Get to the answer that says yes. Then you can gather any additional data that might be helpful if you are going to boss hunt, recruiter hunt, no job open hunt, apply for a job, whatever it might be. You go. You are lucky enough to get an interview, then you go and spend time researching it. I would spend mere minutes. I don't waste a lot of time on that. I only put the work in when I know I need to put the work in. You put the work in to determine that it looks like it's a possibility. Great. Send it. Glance. Go. Send it. See what happens. I don't know why it's half the day. Vernon. Hey. Medina, how are you? Hello, Andy. In the boss hunting letter, what can I say in the what I offer section if I don't have many years of experience or relevant skills? If you are a career changer or a recent graduate. College students, talk about your internships, your summer jobs, your school projects, or your studies. If you are a career changer, talk about anything that relates capability-wise to where you are going. If you are a project manager and you want to become a salesperson, you're going to be talking about your customer service skills, your interaction skills, your facilitation skills, your organizational skills, or whatever. You need to just map and connect what's important to them. Look at the job description. Actually, I do think I want to do a session on how to look at a job description and know what questions they are going to ask you in an interview. And maybe what I can do is apply it going the other way, looking at a job description, knowing what to send in, and then when you see a job description, knowing what they're going to ask you on the other end. It's kind of a double-edged sword, literally and figuratively. Hope that helps. Frank, my boot camper from Baton Rouge. So you're semi-near Stacy, where I save health systems money and eliminate what I love. Eva V., I bet you speak French. Hello from Canada. And Gary from the left coast. How you doing, buddy? Glad I got to... Gary's got to sign one of these, people. He does, because he came to the meetup when I was in the OC. I miss the meetups. As soon as this crap show's over on this COVID thing, we're going to have meetup in Chicago, that's for sure. And then anywhere else I go. Karen Lose, my boot camper, how are you? So nice to have that coaching session with you. I hope you're doing well. What time is it? 11:30. All right, I want to show you a couple things. I want to go back. I know Patricia asked me this question, and I showed you Sonda, but I gotta drive this home. This is a 3-part. There's 3 reasons why I want to tell you this. Number 1, I want to show you that things are mobile and they're moving and companies are hiring. Number 2, I want to make sure that you not only know that this is possible, but I want you to erase or block out all those people in negative town. I want you to know that stuff is not true. It's simply not true. Yes, there are little things and issues here and there. Yes, some companies discriminate because you're older. You need to be smart about what you control and target companies that value that, right? That kind of stuff. And I also want to let you know, because the dang boot camp, it just works. Now, if you've been following emails, I've been grabbing like 3 or 4 of these every week because I just on the weekends I go to the Facebook group and I grab them. And this was Sonia. Joined the boot camp June 11th. And now, here again, if you're hearing no one's hiring, this is nonsense. She gets in on June 11th. I say this to everybody that gets in there. You stay upbeat. You work this process. You put the time in to follow the steps as I outline them. You will get results, and I will be there every step of the way. I will not abandon you. I will not leave you. Okay? I won't, and the team won't. Starts her new job July 20th. So she posted this 1 month to the day she signed up, right? It can happen in a matter of weeks if you're doing the right things and targeting the right companies. Now, she, right, wasn't really sure, lacked a little confidence. I'm telling you, I want to drive this point home. I cannot say this enough. Do not let employers make you think you suck. Just because you are not awesome at job searching and you are completely confused like everybody else is about this crazy thing called job searching, don't believe that. If you are controlling your outflow and you are targeting companies and you are sending out your material and you are getting it into the right spots, good things will happen. Do not let, no, do not let that dissuade you from continually pumping the stuff out. If you need help, get in my job search challenge. If you want the deepest help, get in the boot camp. But I'm telling you, it really is something you do not need to go this alone. You don't. Job searching is lonely and can be lonely. It doesn't have to be lonely. All right, so I want you to really let this soak in. Guys, this works. It really does. It really does. Okay? And it can be fun, and you can learn a lot about yourself. I went through this thing about Sonia, 60 years old, same company, right in the middle of COVID. You saw this one already. But look at this one. I just got this the other day from Tammy. Tammy's in the Job Search Bootcamp. She's also in the leadership program. And you need to really hear this. She moves across, from one side of the world to the other side of the world. She's not in the U.S., okay? She's in Canada now. She had emailed me initially. She had questions about the boot camp. She's like, Andy, I'm really nervous. She had a bunch of questions, okay? Like, we went back and forth, emailing back and forth until I assured her this was going to work, okay? Like, I don't care what you've done. I'm telling you, we'll get you there, okay? She jumps in, and she was a little lost, a little confused. The husband has a job. She's got kids, right? Everything I learned from your teaching worked. I start my first job after immigrating to the other side of the world. She wasn't very confident. She wasn't even a citizen. How many of you talk about, I want to move states, I want to move countries? I have no network. There's no way I'm going to get a job. That's not true. I don't care if you know nobody in a town that you move to. I can teach you how to generate a network. It can. If you focus on what you can control and you are patient. What did I say earlier? The first thing I said in the show today, I want you to be impatient with your action, and I want you to be patient with your results. I want you to move, and I want you to keep moving, and I want you to figure out the right steps to take, and I want you to be super impatient about that. I want you to send out the damn letters, okay? I want you to look at what's happening and then make your adjustments, okay? And I boosted her confidence. She was not sure how to. That's the other thing about the paid programs. They're all organized. The steps. I can't believe it happened. It's 12 weeks, right? How many of you think it's going to take forever? It is taking forever. You don't have to go this alone, right? Here again, multiple offers, right? Just got to the country, okay? And I'm telling you, the program, not just the boot camp and the leadership prep, they will teach you a lot about life. So I want to drive home the fact that a lot of what you're hearing out there are myths. And do not, please, whatever you do, don't buy into the crap that trainers are trying to shove on you that the world is caving in. Yes, it's uncomfortable right now, but companies are hiring every single day. If you're having trouble, then you have to look at, well, am I looking in the right places? Do I have quality messages? Am I tapping the network? Am I generating a network? Am I following up prudently? Am I reaching out to people who likely would want to talk to me about a job I could do, right? And so on. And am I interviewing well? But I'm telling you, my inbox is getting flooded with these things every single day. And even for those of you that are not in the premium programs, but maybe you bought the interview intervention, but you can go on the Facebook page and just look, or in the LinkedIn group and just look at those things, or check out the bootcamp page or whatever it is. But look at those testimonials. I've been popping up newer ones, and I'm getting so many each day. I'm trying to pick and choose different types of people that have different scenarios, like Sonia, like Sonda, like Tammy, right? Larry. I mean, there's all of Joe Winter. I mean, these people, you can read their stories on the page, right? Somebody on that page looks just like you, has the same problems. And so I would check that out. But I want you to know, work the process. If you can't afford to get in the program, that's okay. Use the free stuff. But I'm telling you, it works. There are possibilities out there. There are. All right, enough of that. April J. Hey to you. I've applied to a position with the same company 4 times over the last 2 years. At what point do I stop? Or do I continue to apply until I'm hired? I've had 1 interview with the company. April, I would never, if I had 1 interview with the company, I would never apply for another job at that company ever again. I would always target the recruiter, the hiring official who I interviewed with, or anybody that I made a connection with. I would not apply at all, ever. I would always go back to the recruiter. And you could do that and stay in touch with them every 3 months if you wanted to. All right, Dante, hi to you. That's a new name. I don't know if you're a first-timer. Carrie Freeman, I know you're not a first-timer. Jeff O'Toole, hi to you. And Devlina, how are you? It was nice to talk to you the other day. I hope that helped. My boot camper, love it. Get in that leadership program. We'll see you tomorrow. Elena, hey Andy, any advice or videos to watch on bringing anxiety levels down during online interviews and increasing confidence? Elena, let's get this one up here. I do. I have a whole bunch. Couple things. What brings down anxiety? 2 things, right? Two things. I don't care. I don't care what happens. That's one way of looking at it, right? I don't care. Can you get there? So I want you to be diligent and ready. But if you're panicked about the outcome, that creates anxiety. So I always like to say, it's in this book. This book's free too. This is my goal setting book. Okay, it's a motivational and inspirational book on how to get everything you want out of life and have fun doing it. And the quote in this book is, my mind is open to any possibility, but my heart is attached to no outcome. I will not give in. Okay, I will not give in and let an outcome that I have no control over control me. Okay, now that's one way. You gotta practice it. Okay, now to help you get over your anxiety and fears, I do have a video about how to overcome your fears. Maybe Stacy could pop that in the chat. That's the first one. That's just for anxiety. I have a confidence video. How to be confident in a job interview, how to get confidence in a job interview. If you go to my YouTube channel and you type the word confident in, the video is going to pop right up. Okay, watch that one. Now, the other thing, proficiency. There's 2 types of proficiencies you have to have in an online interview. What are they? Well, you want to be good and comfortable with the mechanics of the camera, the audio, right? The setup, okay? Well, that takes a little practice. So I had a coaching session I have 4 coaching sessions on Monday. I think I told this to everyone, probably almost every one of them, about when you have a video interview, of which we're doing a ton of these now, right? So this woman out of New York area, she had a video interview later this week. So maybe, actually, I think it was yesterday. And I said to her, okay, it was Monday. Well, get the camera. You kind of prepped for your interview. You've got your interview responses. Just, in the morning, just talk through the camera for 5 minutes. Just get comfortable so that you remember the high points of what you want to say and you feel comfortable looking at the camera. Then, then at lunchtime, just spend 5 minutes or 3 minutes. And then, at dinner time, just do another. And tomorrow, Tuesday, do the same thing. By the time Wednesday rolls around, this will be like nothing. Okay, you'll be totally comfortable. That gives you a look of confidence, and you are not worried about, oh my God, is something, how's this look, and all that crap. Okay, So that's one thing. Then there's the confidence related to your content knowledge, right? Understanding what it is that you do and how you want to convey what you do. I mean, I just got done telling you, none of you suck, right? You're all good at what you do. I believe that. I do believe that. Okay. I especially believe the fact that because you're here with me, you're the kind of person who wants to get better and you're the kind of person that believes that. I hope you do believe that. So it's a matter of, okay, well, now look at what it is that I do. What is it that I'm expected, likely to be asked? This book will tell you. I have a chapter in here about the 14 most effective job interview questions that an employer can ask you. And in that chapter are 43 variations of those questions. Trust me, it's covered. Okay, yes, there are going to be some what we call domain-specific or technical-specific questions related to what it is you do specifically, right? The mechanic has to know how to put the engine together kind of thing. But for you, I would make sure that I knew the stories I was going to tell related to those questions I am likely going to be asked. And the more comfortable you feel with that, the more confident you'll be. So there's the mechanics. It's like a speaker, right? When I go on the stage, right, do I feel like I'm in total command and I have that presence and I'm not worried about remembering what I need to say and all that good stuff because it's practiced so much that it's totally natural when you do it and you deliver it, okay? Right? When you and I are talking, this is an online interview. You all are online interviewing me right now. You do it every Thursday and then some, right? Except I have to do this on the fly, right? But I don't worry about it because of a number of things. Number one, I think about you, not me, because I'm trying to help you. The other thing you can think about in your online interview is this company would be lucky to have me. I don't mean that in an obnoxious way. I'm just saying, hey, I'm offering my services and I'm really good at what I do to help this organization. I say the same thing when I think about you guys. Hey, you know what? Give them your best, right? Care about them. I do care about you. I care about your results, but most importantly, I care about giving you the confidence to go out into this world and to try things you might not otherwise try or to things that you were going to try anyway to try them with more vigor. Okay, so when you start thinking about the other party, that also cools you down. All right, and then the fact of the matter is, you just know your stuff. You know your stuff. Don't worry about it. You ain't gonna forget. You won't. And if you need to, one of the things that I mentioned to one of my coaching clients, you got a notepad, right? You got your job description, you got your resume, maybe you got some notes. When you're in an online interview, if I'm looking down at my notes, you could be referencing whatever. Okay? You could be looking down, and then you might have like the 5 points that you want to say on that question. Great. Don't forget to tell them this, and this. Right? Same thing. Hey, I'm just looking at the job description when you're looking at the answer or whatever. Right? You could do that. So, whatever you got to do to feel comfortable. Okay? I hope that helps. That's a great question. That's just a damn good question. All right. Let me see what we got next. How's Stacy doing with those links? I bet she's doing just great. All right. Tom. Salary negotiation did not give them my number. Good man. Said I would consider a range. Good man. They gave me the range and said I was at the top and gave me their number. They asked if it was okay. I requested more info. Accept the offer or ask for more. Okay. I'm going to make this one real short because I have a lot of videos out there for anybody who's looking for salary negotiation help. But Tom, everybody remember this. Here's the one point you need to remember. I'm going to give you the answer really fast, then I'm going to tell you why that is the case. I would negotiate no matter what. Unless I said to them, you give me $100,000 and I'm yours, okay? And I promise you that. Then you accept it. If you say, hey, what's the range? And they say 80 to 100, you say, sounds about right. And then they give you 100, that doesn't mean you can't negotiate. I have to look at the whole package. What do those benefits cost? How much vacation do I get? What kind of training am I going to get? Who am I going to work with? Do I have to come to the office every day? I got to go buy suits, right? I got to buy shorts or t-shirts that aren't ripped, that kind of stuff. Like everything. Maybe you got stock options, incentive stock options, restricted stock units, profit interest units, profit sharing units, phantom stock, whatever. I don't know any of that, and I'm sure there's a bunch of that. So everybody, all of you can always fall back on, I need to see the whole thing. And when they give you the whole thing, I talked to you about, your automatic response. Any wiggle room, see what their response is, try to find out more. Assumptions are not your friends. Whoever has more information always makes a better and more informed decision. So that's where I would go with that. It is okay. So the short answer is, can you negotiate? Yes, you should negotiate. I would negotiate. Pleased to meet you, Bill. Pratha, final year student in Comp Sci field from India. Great to have you. What can I do to increase my chance of getting employed in this pandemic time? For all the college students, and this is fantastic. I will tell you this. Here's how I think as a salesperson. You are. You're an engineer, you're a comp sci major, you're an IT geek, you're a project manager, you're an accountant, you're an whatever. You're a salesperson right now. You're a marketing and a salesperson, even worse, right? You got to market yourself, then you got to sell yourself. How do salespeople think? Okay, so this is really important because what do a lot of you do? Okay, can I get a show of hands? I don't do this enough. Can I get a show of hands? How many of you, your first reaction to this question is go get more certifications, go bone up your credentials, go do all that stuff? I wouldn't even I'd do none of that. Okay? The Andrew LaCivita technique, you're good as you are. All right? You are. You all are perfectly whole. Okay? As you are. You are a comp sci student from India. I know you work hard. Right? And culturally, everybody I meet from India is just fantastic. They work hard, right? They got good value. Like, all that's good. Okay? You want to increase your chances of getting hired? You go out and you spend more time looking for the right opportunities that are high probability targets. You do not go back and spend a ton of time embellishing your credentials. Why? I'm telling you right now, there are companies that are out there that will be falling all over themselves to hire you. The problem, some of you are looking at me like I'm nuts, but the reason that you have not found the job is because you're not spending enough time pursuing them. Okay, so what do most of us do? We think we need to increase our odds from the bottom up. You don't do that. You increase your odds from the top down. You go out and you look. Some of you say, oh, I got a hit. I got a fish on the line. Right, but then you spend a lot of time trying to convince this employer that they should hire you. When I'd say, throw the fish back. Go to the next one. Spend more time looking for people who are open to hiring individuals who do not have the requisite experience. That's what you need to be doing to increase your probability to find a job at any time. Pandemic, no pandemic. You're a college student, that's what you need to do. Find organizations who are open to hiring college students. You're a career changer, do not spend your time or effort or wind or breath or whatever trying to convince somebody who isn't open to hiring somebody based on their qualities and their capabilities and their abilities. Where it's like, no, I need somebody who's been a project manager in B2B organizations that has sold to small to medium businesses, which is nonsense and bunk. That's not your company. Don't spend any time. So you want to increase your chance, you go spend more time looking. What do you think I do? I'm not going to spend a lot of time explaining to somebody who doesn't want to get my boot camp that they should. That example I talked about with Tammy, she had questions. She needed, when somebody asks questions, that's an invitation to convince me. That's different. Okay? So that's different. So I try to put it out there and let people who are interested, and then I engage with them. If you have questions you don't want to get in, that's okay too. So you got to think about that. You want to increase your odds. You increase them from the top of the funnel. What do I mean? So think about a funnel in everything in your life. Everything in your life is a funnel. right? People you meet, some of them become friends, some of them become best friends, right? You're job searching, top of the funnel, all those emails you're sending out, networking opportunities, even applications, targeting companies, boss hunting, all the top of the funnel. The top of the funnel's big and wide, awesome. Awesome. Okay, then what happens? Some of them get back to you, right? Some of them say thanks, but no thanks. Some of them say, hey, come in for an interview. Some of those interviews you don't make it through. Fine. You go again, right? And then you get a job. You need to increase the top of your funnel. Getting more certifications and doing that stuff as a recent college graduate or whatever, you're trying to improve an area inside the funnel that is much more narrow and gives you less possibility. We're going for probability and odds, which increases speed. The faster and more organized you increase the top of your funnel, the faster you will find your job. Okay? Why do you think the Job Search Challenge, and for those of you who don't know what that is, get in it, it's free. Why do you think so many people find their job that way? Because they're not trying to do stuff in the middle of the funnel. They're creating possibilities. That's what leads to the one. That's a damn good question. And I really hope that you guys get my meaning there, because you guys are working things backwards a lot of times. I don't want you to do that. That's a great question. All right. Elena, ciao from Italy. Love it. Sandeep, what is your opinion to define creativity in a practical scenario? I'm not really sure. What you mean. Susan Kelly, supply chain data analyst working as a cashier, using my experience to write white papers. Awesome. Myron Grimes, how you doing, man? Cut me some MP3s, buddy. Myron emails me MP3s. I open them and I listen to them, meaning he makes the music. I love it. You guys don't think I read my emails. I laugh because some of you are like, I know you're not going to read this. Flying Uber Tuber, hey to you. Lewis from Mississippi, just do something, get comfortable just producing. I love that. Oh, I hear the door closing. That's got to be my wife. Is that my beautiful wife? I'm on the show. You presentable? You want to come say hi? She hates when I do that. Laura Cobb, is the online class tomorrow for everyone? Uh-oh.
We got lots of geese out
there. Ooh, sorry. Oh my God. Say hi.
Hi, everyone. Good luck.
I know.
You're in
it's
good
live
hands.
Office hours here. Live office today. How is my mother-in-law?
She's great.
Good. All right. Okay, let's wait. The dogs were out before, and I fed them. Okay, see. We have to make sure that we don't double feed our dogs. All right. Laura Cobb, is the online class tomorrow for everyone? I marketed to my cohort, but they might not be eligible. Can anyone participate in the resume workshop? Okay, I have two things. So, couple things. Tomorrow, I have a leadership. Sorry, I thought I had my workbook with me. I give awesome workbooks at this leadership program. I have a leadership monthly. It's literally every 4 weeks we meet as a leadership group. I teach, I do Q&A, and everything is aimed at career development and advancement, self-help and high performance, and leading a fulfilled life. It's everything from confidence and speaking and career acceleration and being a high performer and building trust and listening and communicating and overcoming unexpected change. It's all that stuff. I've done lessons on all these. Building your personal brand, telling your story, all kinds of great stuff. Goal setting. Tomorrow's on designing an essential life, which is how do I create a life for myself that I love, meaning all the people in it, the goals I take on, the commitments I take on. Believe me, a lot of us need to take a cold, hard look at that. That's tomorrow. It's only for people who pay for the program. That program is either $49 a month, and you can cancel anytime. And when you join, you get my Career Accelerator program, which is awesome, 5-module, $400 course that's sold separately, but you get it for free. You have access to it, and you can cancel anytime. If you're a boot camper, it's $39 a month. If you are anybody, boot camper or anybody else, I have a $297 a year package. So that's half price. That's like $24.75. And I would say like 75% of the people that are in that program, and there are a lot of people, are on the annual package because it's a lot less expensive. But if you want to try it out. You can come tomorrow. It's a live session, and then there's a whole live calendar for the year, for the rest of the year. And you look at the recordings. You can't make it. I realize not everybody can make it. I know some of you asked me, like, why do I do these shows at 11 in the U.S.? You're working and this and that. 50% of you are outside the U.S. for me. So we have people where this is 9 o'clock at night. We have people where this is 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock in the afternoon. And it seemed to be like we tried a bunch of stuff. I also looked at different tools that I could find based on geographically where you're located as well as when you're online. And this seemed to be the peak time. So that's why we do even the premium shows at that time. So Laura, that's the leadership program tomorrow. The resume workshop is for anybody. So whether you're inside my programs, not inside the paid programs, I mean, anybody can come to the resume writing workshop. That's free. That's a whole course, people. I mean, and if whatever you do not miss the first session, because I am going to show you exactly what I go through when I look at a resume. It is not like anything that I've shown you before. Okay, it isn't. It's not like the 3 secrets to get your resume noticed webinar. I'm going to give you a whole new diagram of how I read a resume in a circle, why it's read in a circle, what questions I ask myself as I'm going through the circle, and what everybody else is doing. I just have found a better way to illustrate this to you. It is, please, I've not said this to anybody. No one has seen this. So come. And if you're in my job search bootcamp, you're going to get priority in your questions. So that's another reason. The bootcamp is on special right now through August 14th. If you get in the bootcamp, just go to the bootcamp page. Maybe Kara or Stacy can put the link in. If you enroll in the bootcamp and you come to these sessions for the resume workshop, we'll have you put your little hashtag and your medallion and whatever, and then we'll elevate your priority. It's going to be great. Doesn't matter, I mean, who you are. I'm going to teach you how to write the resume. And it's really going to be awesome. So please, anybody can attend that. Thank you for asking. That's really good. There's Dean, my boot camper from Germany. That resume needs to look different. German resumes, Switzerland resumes, we know this. We know it has to look mildly different. Karen, are we to include typical keywords on our resumes? Karen, my boot camper, currently I don't have them at all. I have only what I accomplished. Okay, couple things, and because you're Karen and you're my boot camper and we did a sesh, I love you and I know you. So everybody, Karen et al. Okay, when you write the resume, you have one base resume. If you are going, and Karen, for your project and program management type positions, you know there are going to be basic and consistent keywords, right? Work planning, right? Joint application development, requirements gathering, design, right? Team management, steering committee stuff. You're going to have a variety of things, right? That a project manager is going to do across the board. Your accomplishments as you write them should include those keywords, okay? Now, the keywords are a funny thing. So you want to make sure that as you apply to jobs, that you are looking at the keywords that are included in the job description if you have a job description. There are keywords and there are buzzwords. So what are keywords? Well, project management, project manager, to me is a keyword, right? It is a specific nomenclature, work plan, has to have, requirements gathering, right? Use case, so on and so forth. Very specific, very, very specific, very, very on point. Then you have the buzzy words, like, the opinion-based, self-starter, right? Detail-oriented, good communicator, good listener, a bunch of nonsense words, right? That everybody is going to claim that they have. In that case, if you are applying online to the applicant trashing system, then I want you to also include the specific nomenclature that are in the buzzwords as well. However, I do not want you to make hollow claims. What do I mean by that? There is, somebody who is a self-starter, and I can claim to be a self-starter, but if I don't provide evidence of why I know I am a self-starter, then I, as a recruiter reviewing the resume, just gloss over it. It's like, oh, they just threw that in there, right? So you a self-starter because why? You pioneered something that was never requested that then you convinced your management team to do and spend a bunch of money that then resulted in. That's how I know that, okay? Like I brought to the leadership team this initiative, unsolicited initiative, right, kind of thing. That tells me you're a self-starter. Now you are substantiating, but you only need to do that if you need to put the buzzword in. That's a buzzword, right? Self-starter, right? Leader, that kind of stuff. So yes, you need that. And go you one better. Even if you are boss hunting, okay? So if you're boss hunting and you see a job and you look at the job description, what's the first thing I tell you not to do? Don't go in the applicant tracking system, but take the job description, look at your resume, marry it up just like you were gonna put it in the applicant tracking system, run it through JobScan, just see if it matches. Don't lose sleep over JobScan. It's a good tool. Okay? It's just not I say JobScan is a good tool. I recommend it. I say it's a good tool because there is no one that is going to build any tool that I'm going to call great when it comes to breaking the applicant tracking system. So, and Karen, you in the Job Search Bootcamp have a whole session that I did on resume submittal best practices. Inside the bootcamp is a resume submittal best practices session where I talk about everything, the human eye, the applicant tracking system, and everything you need to do. So you need to go follow those steps. And as part of doing that, run it through JobScan, but also when you look at it, then massage it, then send it to the boss. Because even the human eye, those keywords and buzzwords is going to register, okay? And then if the boss says, hey, put this in the applicant tracking system or whatever, and I want you to go there, I'll send it to the recruiter or whatever. Then if the recruiter gets it or it goes in the applicant tracking system, it's the same resume, and the applicant tracking system, it has a greater likelihood of matching it, right? And saying, thumbs up. So I hope that helps. Yes is the answer, and that's how I would do it. And you have more assets at your disposal because you're a boot camper. But that's the module, that's the session inside the boot camp that you want to watch. I think it's in module 2 or 3, because I'm pretty sure that'll be in module 2. All right, I hope that helps. Oh, that's great stuff. That's just a great question. All right, let me. What's this, Myron? Will your wife be returning to? So my wife is a teacher. Myron knows this because he's in the programs. But she's a teacher, and she is changing actually from being she's been a primary grade teacher. She's taught all of them, K1, 2, 3, and other things, other types of things within those. So she's mostly been a classroom teacher. She's now going to be a reading specialist. So she's got a new job. She changing careers right in the middle of COVID. This is going to be her first year as a reading specialist. They're rotating, so like 2 days 1 week, 3 days the next, then e-learning 3 days and 2 days and that kind of stuff. And I don't feel great about my wife going back to school. She wants to, but I worry about the health and safety of this COVID stuff's serious. It's not getting better, it's getting worse. So, that's how I feel about that. But yes, thank you for asking. You're a good dude. You just are. Chandra, hey? Miss Marie, my boot camper from London. Got a lot of Londoners, UKers, Canadians, Australians, people in China, Japan, all over UAE. Got all over. And then mid-Europe area, I mean, just great, great stuff. Oh, wait, this is you. This is you. Okay. Bradley, that was you the other day. Here is, I love this. By the way, I know I mentioned this. You gotta follow me on the gram. You know what's really funny about Instagram? I love it the most. I have the least number of people that I'm connected to on that platform. So whenever anybody responds to something, I see it. And then we have a conversation, just like Bradley gave his opinion. I'm thinking that was you about that quote I had about nothing original ever came from anyone who was afraid to fail. I don't know if that was the one you're talking about. I'm sure I have ones on there on fear. But you mentioned something about fear in a recent Instagram post. Do you need to get rid of fear? No. I want you to hold fear right here all the time. Okay? It isn't fear that I don't want. And if you are afraid of something, that's probably a damn good indication that you ought to be doing it. I don't try to manage it. I don't even think about it. I think, hey, I'm going to try this. Well, what happens if it fails? Well, I don't know. I'm going to try it and then I'm going to figure that out, right? But I'm going to plan for success and I'm going to learn. And I have faith that it will always work out. And I have faith that I am right where I'm supposed to be. And I really have faith that at some point I will look back at not today, because I don't know about today, but when I look back in hindsight, I will know it had to happen that way, okay? I don't know it right now, why it's got to happen that way, or why I can't figure out the damn Facebook ads, or why I keep arguing with these people every day, but I know it had to happen that way. So I don't try to get rid of fear. I embrace fear. I thought the one you were commenting on was about failure. If you're afraid to fail, then you're not going to stretch yourself or try things because you don't want to fail. That is the point. I fail miserably every single day. What you guys see, how can I answer all these questions all the time? Why do I know? Because I bumbled it up at some point before. Or I learned it from somebody else who bumbled it up. Right? And I've seen it over. Just remember something. Experience can shape the way that we look at stuff. But don't let your experiences confine you. Let it inform you. Okay? Fear comes from many different things. Your parents could have, beaten it into you and made you afraid. Maybe you had to be perfect and, you had to try. And if you failed, you got yelled at or whatever. There's a million different places that this stuff can come from. Okay, I'm not going to go into that with you. I mean, you know that. But my thing is that about fear is, while it lives there, I just, like I said, I'm impatient with my action and I'm patient with my results. And here's why I'm going to leave you with this, Bradley, and everybody else. I talked about this. If you guys caught the session that we just released on Tuesday, it was 7 uncommon steps that build a great career. But basically, 7 uncommon things that you need to do, that people should do, that will build a great career. And one of those was recognizing that length eliminates risk. So the longer term you think, the less you will be afraid to fail, the less you will fear. What do I mean by that? When I started as a trainer and I was going to sell you my first thing, okay, it, by somebody's standards, bombed. It, by somebody else's standards, was a raging success, okay? Now, if I would have said, if that doesn't sell a certain number of things, or I can't, make a certain amount of money, then I'm going to have to throw in the towel and I'm going to have to go back to my old job, kind of thing. If I was going to do that, I would be afraid. I'd be nervous. I'd be focusing on the wrong stuff. But I didn't say that. I said, I'm going to just keep going and I'm going to look at it over a 5-year span. That leaves us to today. So the first one, if it bombs or it fails or if it whatever, is really just an experience at the end of the day, right? There's really actually no such thing as failure. But knowing that no matter what happened, I was going to keep going, that relaxed me. Sure, I had some fear that it wouldn't perform the way I wanted it to. Did I worry? No. Was I going to do it anyway? You bet your ass I was going to do that. and then be patient, and then keep going. And every time we do something, we learn something more. So that, I would never try to get rid of my fears. I just move right through them. And I think long term, and I know that I'm being prepared for something. I know, I have faith that whatever I tripped or fell down or got knocked out or whatever was supposed to happen, and I was being prepared for something, and that I have faith it'll work out, and I have faith in my ability to figure it out. And that is and I take responsibility for my actions too. And I think that's a big part of overcoming fear and not worrying about, so-called failures. That's great. I appreciate you offering your opinion. I think that was you. I'm assuming that was you. And I mean, it was a dissenting opinion of mine. Hey, listen, I welcome your thoughts, folks. I appreciate your engagement. I don't appreciate people being, buttheads, but not you, Bradley. You're awesome. I mean, you just didn't agree with the post. That's okay, because we shared and had a little dialogue, and I appreciate that. Right? You guys don't have to agree with me on everything. You just be polite. That's all. And he was. And that's great. All right, let's see. Where are we at? Gerard, my boot camper. Gerardo. Oh, I love you too, buddy, man. That's awesome. Wait, hang on. Let's just, whatever. I don't know what this is. Let's just get this up here. Hey, Andy, we love you. I have noticed that the engaged stories are dramatic, how I lose dollars in a project. My issue is, how can I turn these bad thoughts in a good way or make the best impression? Love this question. Two things. Gerard, number one, I do have a video. It's out on YouTube. Stacy, dancing shoes. Can we get them? Tell me about a time when you failed. That behavioral interviewing question. So Gerard, it almost, I say almost because I don't always like to say always and never. I really don't like to use those words unless I mean always and never. Usually, employers will enjoy hearing about a project, an issue, adversity, and something that you overcome. They're more interested in understanding, what was it? What did you learn from it? How did you look at it? So how did you look at it? Did you look at it as, well, I just got done talking. We're talking about Bradley, about the learning opportunities, right? I'm being prepared. I have faith it was supposed to work out this way, and that's my attitude. And then here's what I learned, and then here's how I made the best of it, or here's how I overcame it, or any of those. So when you talk about those stories, if you follow that protocol, even if it didn't work out, or wait, this customer left us, but then the story goes, and you know what? While it hurt, it was the best thing ever because the customer shared this feedback that was where we were able to get that and redo this and that so that all the other customers were happier. And while it stinks that we lost that one customer, if we didn't actually have that occur, then all those other customers would have had less than the best experiences. Something like that. Like you could do that. You're not putting failed projects on your resume, right? You're only having to engage in those stories in the interview. That's the way I would go about that. That's great, buddy. Hope we're going to see you at the resume workshop and at the boot camp sessions. Joseph Reichert, is Sales Navigator the most cost-effective and efficient tool to boss hunt, or is there a better way? I'm not even sure that I would use any tool. I'd use a spreadsheet to track my contacts. Or you could use anything you want. I mean, you could use Sales Navigator. If you got Salesforce.com, you can use that. You can use Microsoft Access. You can use anything. Okay, Joseph, I want to just answer this quickly. The boot camp is normally $597. That's so predominantly throughout the year, for most of the time. This year's a little bit of an exception because I've been a lot more loose with running specials because I've been during COVID. I was trying to keep the price down and all that good stuff because I wanted to help you out. We offer it. You get the entire recorded end-to-end structure but you also get all of the online support. So if you have questions, you just type your question into me and then I answer it. I service the program every day, meaning I answer questions every single day, multiple times usually. I answer them. And then you get live coaching support for life. You get the program for life, and anytime I upgrade it, you get the online support for life. You can have me as long as I'm alive for my life. You get lifetime attendance to the coaching sessions, which we had 36 last year. Imagine that. It's like 3 a month, but I advertise 24 because some months we do them once. July we did it once. August we're doing it twice. Some months we do it 4 times every week. So that's like the next round will be like that. But anytime you need me, you can go into the system. You get all that. You get everything I talk about, and any of these things that I'm mentioning, you get. Okay, and all the bonuses, and that's $497, and it's on $497 till August 14th, which is our next live coaching session. So in August the 14th and the 28th. So if you got in the boot camp today, you come to the session on the 4th and the 6th and the 11th and the 13th and the 4th. You get all those, and the 28th. You get 6 times live with me, and your questions in the public domain for the workshop will be elevated. So we'll give the boot campers a little extra, especially because we're only meeting twice in August, and so it's a great deal. I mean, what's really smart is like you get in, you go through it, and then when we have the private sessions, especially, then you bring all your questions and I can answer them. And I got a doozy coming up on August 14th for the boot campers. We're going to do something. We're going to be talking about how do you interview employers to get at the real inside stuff that you cannot otherwise detect. Like, how do I know that they're a welcoming culture, right? How do I know that they're a meritocracy? How do I know that they're deadline driven, but not like psychotic deadline driven, and I'm gonna have to work 24 hours a day? Like all the stuff you wanna ask, but you don't know how to ask, I'm gonna teach you a layered approach and how to sequence all that and get what you need to know, not what they want, what they think you need to know, or what they wanna tell you. It's awesome. So I teach in these, we call them boot camp boosters. So like the booster sessions, because everything is recorded, you get it all right away. Thank you. I love those. You know I love talking about that program. It's a great community too. The community, I didn't even go in all that stuff. Check out the page. It's all on there. There's video testimonials, there's written testimonials, there's music, there's me answering questions live or recorded for your frequently asked questions. There's all kinds of stuff on that page. Karen, best approach to turning down a contract offer and keep the option open for a few weeks, months, and now when the virus settles, anything I should say. So first thing is, so I almost wish the question would have just been, how do I turn down a contract and keep the options open? Because if you're trying to time things, wait, Karen, this is not, specific to you. In general, people, you don't know when anything's going to end. You don't know when the stock market's going to crash. Right? In 2007, no one knew that. Right? All of a sudden, everything got put on hold and we were in recovery for years. Coronavirus, people are out dancing in the streets, and all of a sudden, now we're hitting record numbers. Like, this isn't going away anytime soon. So I want to take that out of the equation, because if you are turning something down, one, you need to turn it down. No means no, end of story. However, I want you to do it in a manner, should something else surface at some future point, or you change your mind at some future point, you've done it in a manner that allows you to re-engage with those people. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to do that if you're talking about for a few weeks or months, because I'm not into the timing game. Okay, I'm not. I do not mess around with predictions of what's going to happen and all that. I look at trends and all that stuff at a macro level, but I will never be able to look at it at a micro level like this. Okay, so I'm not gonna go there. But this I will say to you: when you let somebody down, so if you're turning down a job offer, you're turning down a contract, you're turning down anything, you want to make sure that you have a little bit of a script that covers certain things. First thing is, you know what, I really enjoyed meeting everybody. I really enjoyed this, this organization. I can completely understand why you're being successful, and I'm excited about opportunities working at your organization. This specific one, however, you use this language, but you know what I mean. But this specific one, I just don't feel it's right for me at the moment. At the moment, right? You got to get the timing element in there. Okay, because that is not right for me right now. That might not be right for me ever. So now, if it's that particular opportunity isn't specific and you would like another opportunity with that company, just say, this one, I really am looking for, talk about what you want, not what you don't, right? So I'm really looking for something that has. You do not want to say, well, that doesn't have this and that doesn't have that and that doesn't. You don't want to go to negative town. You want to stay on the positive and let the recruiter draw the inference. Okay, so that's the second thing. That assumes you just don't want that role. Then, I'd be open to any other opportunities that you have that do align to that. That means that's code for, do you have anything else? Okay. Now, you said you want to turn it down and you want to delay. I'm not in the guessing game. So either you turn it down because you don't like the job, or you turn it down because you don't like the company, or you don't like the person, or you don't like the boss, or whatever. But in those cases, you have to give them an affirmative, a positive, a possibility. If you want to keep things open, the reason you need to give them the possibility, the art of the possible, I always say, is so that their attention is remaining open to you. If you just say, I don't want that right now, and off you go, you've not really built the bridge that you might need to cross in the future. So you've got to do that, right? I really enjoyed this. I really would have liked to work here. I think this current opportunity is not quite what I'm looking for. I'm more interested in something such as that includes whatever. If you have anything like that, I'd love to entertain it. If not, that's okay. Let's stay in touch, kind of thing. But the timing, would never recommend. You don't know. You just don't. So I hope that helps, man. That is a good. Oh, look at this, Andy Norris, my boot camper from old. What, you back? As a 55-year-old, somewhat satisfied with my job, but very satisfied with my location. Is it appropriate to cut right to the chase with potential employers on salary and location? Saves time. All right, Andy Norris, damn good to see you, or at least for you to see me. I just got done saying the art of the possible. I have many videos that we've recently been releasing, and I'm guessing Stacy can give us the one on the out-of-state one. Stace, the out-of-state one. Give him the Instagram. We got him on. We got that one on YouTube, maybe. I think we just released that one on YouTube about, like, you want the job but you don't want to relocate. Okay, so if you're not sure, so first off, the salary one, stop that. That salary is always negotiable, and I wouldn't be, hey, I have to have this. You need to sell yourself. All of you, Andy and everybody, there is no cutting to the chase with salary. I know you all think, oh, well, I'm not going to go and interview when they simply can't pay me. For every one of you out there, how many of you are here? 241. For all 241 of you, I have 241 examples of somebody who once thought that then, 70K more, 100K more, 200K more, 20K more. Right? I'm telling you, you are not seeing this every day, and your friends don't know, and what has happened to you a time or two in your life is not a trend, okay? So I'm telling you, salary, forget all that. You go all the way. It's your job to show your value. So that one, take that off the table. The relo issue, then we move into the art of the possible. So and I think you are in, oh man, this is really taxing. Are you like in forest ranging? Park district stuff. Boy, give me a star if that's right. But I think that is the case. If your situation is like if it's a corporate job in that industry where you are like, you can do it from anywhere because it's corporate, that's one thing. If you're actually the park ranger managing the rangers doing something specific, then that's a location issue. Now, if it's the latter, then location is a factor. But if it's a more corporate type of job where you might be able to do it remotely or travel minimally or those kind of things where you don't have to move, then you go all the way. Don't cut to the chase. Make the chase the fun part. And I understand one, and this is specific to Andy because this is a little different for all of you. Andy is employed. Okay, so when you are employed, I recognize that you are now taking time away from your job. Okay, so when you say yes to something, you always say no to something else, right? So you have to create time. If you have to do something after hours or on a Saturday, then you're saying no to the family or whatever. But I would be very targeted and selective in who I was reaching out to, and then I would obviously be targeted and selective in who I wanted to talk to. But even if it was the location that was elsewhere, I would not kibosh it right away. And I have a video on this where we covered all this, where it's literally like, I'm thinking about the thumbnail that I spent like 3 seconds making about like, I want the job, but I don't want to reload. So it's like you want the out-of-state job, but you don't want the relocation or something like that. Watch that video. And good to see you, my friend. Always real nice to have the boot campers back. All right. Linda Crichton. Hey, Andy, thank you for being so... Oh, you are welcome. I have years of experience with startup companies. Awesome. So I've worn many hats and can do many things. How should I best position myself for the job I want? Linda, et al. Okay. That's a good looking YouTube picture right there. Oh, there we go. Everybody, you're marketers, you're sellers, right? So how do you want to market yourself? So you could talk about primary expertise in selling, additional expertise in marketing, this and that, product development, whatever, right? Like you could do that. Use the career profile to control the narrative of how you want them to read your entire resume. Highlight the function or functions that are best for you. So we had I don't know if she's here. We got a wonderful boot camper, Liz, from the UK. She's done sales and marketing. She's more of a marketing person. And when I first looked at her resume, I said, okay, you said sales and marketing leader, but when I look at your highlights, it talks about sales, and then some other thing that's not marketing. But that wasn't the message she wanted to send. She wanted to look for marketing jobs, right? So we recalibrated the highlights and the other stuff to slant the marketing aspects of them. Same kind of thing for you. If you've worked for startups, I don't know how many years you've been working. You look like a youngster to me, but I don't know how many years you've been working or how much experience you have to draw from to paint your little Mona Lisa of a profile and highlights and all that stuff that goes on your resume. But I would think about where you want to go. The big message to you, Linda, and to everybody who is versatile is pick where you want to go, target-wise, meaning function-wise. Do I want to be selling? Do I want to be marketing? Do I want to be in product management? Do I want to be in project management? And so on. And then you create a resume that supports that as best you can. And then if you would like to remark that you are versatile with experience in, because you worked for these startups and you had to wear many hats, employers get that. And then what happens? The success isn't in the resume. The success is in the circulation of the resume. So if you are targeting organizations, you can target startups if you like those environments. Go to smaller, medium-sized businesses if you want, that will value the many hats. If you want to go from working in startups and 10-people companies and you want to go to IBM, that might be a little different. We got to paint that differently. Okay, so I hope that helps. But the moral of the story, folks, is you need to, the resume is a marketing document. You want to create it in a manner of where you want to go. It is not a work history document. It is a marketing document. I cannot say that enough. And then you control the story, you control the narrative, call it whatever you want, in the career profile and the highlights, which is the top half of your first page. I don't even know what you're doing as I'm reading through this. I know who you are. I know like within a second what it is you are because you told me. You got to do all that. Got to come to the workshop. You got to come to the workshop. I promise it'll be worth it. All right, Linda, hope that helps. How are we doing on time? Folks, I got to get running. Okay, listen, I know time flies when we're having fun. If you're loving this, click the thumbs up. Share it with people. This will live up and breathe on the channel. And tomorrow, leadership program, check it out. It's so good. Try it for a month. You will love it. You can poke around the whole place. You'll never be able to watch all the stuff in a month unless you watch it every single day for 30 days. It's really good. And then sign up for the resume workshop. That's the 4th, the 6th, the 11th, and the 13th. Get into boot camp if you want help at the deepest level. We have, in addition to all those the public sessions, we have private boot camper sessions August 14th and 28th. Obviously, there's less people show up to those. There's only so many people in the program. So I hope that helps. Check out the page. A lot of great stories. And I think that's it. Boy, it's quiet. It was quiet. Karen and Stacy weren't really slacking me. So I must be good. I must be good to go. You guys be good. Have a great time. And if nothing else, I'll see you next Thursday? I'll see you next Thursday for live office hours. All right. Take care. You guys be cool.